Alrighty. What's up, folks? Blitzball Champ back for another video. So, this is a recap, a week 3 recap, excuse me, of the previous Carolina Panthers game. So, excuse me. So, Minnesota Vikings beat the Carolina Panthers by a score of 22-10. Vikings move to 3-0, while the Panthers go to 1-2. This is their first home loss that they've had in 14 home games. They've won 14 straight home games and have finally lost at home. I'm gonna be honest with you. This game was a travesty. This game was a freaking travesty. Cam Newton threw 3 picks. Not only did he throw 3 picks, he was sacked 8 times. 8 times. Oh, but there's more. One of the sacks was a safety. Oh, but there's more. There's even more to this. Kelvin Benjamin had no catches and was only targeted 1 time the entire game. After having 2 awesome games in week 1 and week 2, he was only targeted once. Not only that, special teams gives up a punt return touchdown. This is not a Carolina team that is to be expected after coming off a 15-1 season last year with Cam Newton as last year's league MVP. There's a lot that could be said about this. You know, if I look down at the factors of what led to this really, really terrible loss, one, I blame mostly the offensive line and a little on Cam Newton as well. Because, to be honest, at least a handful of those sacks, like, Cam had no time. He had no time. Because 1-2 people, were getting through. I remember one of the sacks, like, the guy ran, like, right by Michael Oher, and Michael Oher didn't really make much of an effort to stop him. It was ridiculous. It was really, really, like, ridiculous. But on the plays where Cam did have time, he didn't really make the right kind of decisions with the ball. It felt like he was trying to just stay in the pocket and just go for the long bombs or the long 20, 30, 40 yard plays. But, he really didn't run. He didn't really run much. He only had 7 carries for 26 yards. I mean, yes, he did have the 1 rushing touchdown. But, I mean, he didn't really make good decisions with the ball, when he was pressured like that, and even when he had time. Not to mention, you only target Kelvin Benjamin 1 time? I'm sorry, but I refuse to believe, and this is not knocking on the Minnesota defense, I just refuse to believe that Kelvin Benjamin was blanketed the entire game. The least he could have done was take some shots to Kelvin Benjamin, especially if there were one-on-one coverages. But he was only targeted once, which was way late in the game. But just offense, really, after that first drive, just fell apart. And really, it all started after the safety. Once the safety happened, that was it. Which, honestly, I still feel that the safety, me personally, Cam got hit and wrapped around the helmet on that tackle in the end zone. So, honestly, I'm a little surprised that a penalty didn't come out. A penalty flag didn't come out. I mean, it wasn't so much the fact that it was a safety, but the fact of how the defender hit him. He hit and wrapped around his helmet. So, I don't know. I just feel like that should have been a flag. But still, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. And just, it was terrible. Defense couldn't cause any turnovers. But it was really ridiculous. Like, this is not the defending NFC champions that the fans were hoping for. And it's just, and I know things seem like it's been a mess because of, the things, that have been happening in Charlotte with the riots. But, I mean, you can't let distractions like that take place. You can't let that get the best of you. Because when it comes down to it, despite all that, you have the game, you have 2-3 hours, to play your heart out and win the game. But Carolina falls to 1-2, and their next game is against the Falcons next Sunday. And, to be honest with you, these next 3 weeks are going to be tough. Because the next 3 weeks are divisional games. Falcons, Buccaneers, Saints. And what's crazy is tonight, Monday, Falcons and Saints play. The Saints win, then the NFC South has a 4-way tie at 1-2. So, going forward, they have 3 more games before they hit the bye. 2 of them are away, 1 at home. Realistically, they need to win these next 3 games. They have no choice. They need to win these next 3 games and go into the bye at 4-2. Or 4-2. They need to go into the bye week at 4-2. If they get even one more loss before going to the bye week, it's really not going to look good on their chances of getting back to the playoffs. So, but anyway, that's it. Hopefully they can get back on point and defeat the Falcons, which last season the Falcons were the one that gave them their one loss. And it's going to be a tough game because they haven't had a lot of success playing in Atlanta. So, we'll see what happens. Anyway, go Panthers. I'm out.